What's up? Welcome to a Q&A. I've got plenty of questions on Instagram, so this may take a fair amount of time. Just a quick note, it's a bit noisy because they're doing some work upstairs. I wanted to do this outside, but it's way too cold, so apologies for that. What do you think? How could we improve the judging system? I think the new judging system that we're introducing is a good step forward. I said that before, but we need to add in the points. So let's start, scoring out of 5 each different category. And then we're going to get a fair result at the end, in my opinion. So we need to try that. What's your biggest stress relief? Keep it clean. In my experience, the number one thing that you can do to relieve stress is to exercise. Whether that be running, lifting weights, even freestyle, something that can just take your mind away from it. Something simple, something that gets your body moving, it's going to help you with stress. What are the warm-up exercises before and after training freestyle? For me, before it's clippers. That's not very professional or proper, but I just do tons of clippers before I start my session. But you just do any basic stretches that you learned in school, gradually, get the blood flowing, warm yourself up into it. And that's it, it's different for everyone, I think. I've seen people run laps around the field and stuff. It's up to you. Whenever you feel ready and the blood is pumping, that's when you should begin your session for real. Lindsay asks, what do you think of the level of freestyle in Spain and who's your favorite Spanish freestyler? The level in Spain is really good. It really surprised me when I moved here, how many freestylers were here and how good they were as well. And also the community is really, really close. And I think that there's a lot of young guys and the level is going to keep going up and up and up. So I was pretty surprised by that. And as for a favorite, honestly, I don't have one. I just enjoy training with everyone. There's a lot of variety. Everyone's kind of different. So yeah, I'm enjoying everyone's freestyle in Spain. What do you want to have achieved in 5 years' time? So as far as my freestyle ability, there isn't really anything that I want to achieve. I've been freestyling for a long time and that isn't really a priority in my life anymore. As far as making freestyle content, I want to push my channel and stuff much bigger because I feel like I haven't put any time and effort into it recently. And it has a lot more potential and I haven't achieved what I set out to with this channel yet. So I'm going to push that. And then just in a wider, a general aspect, I want to earn more money because I'm getting older now and you'll find out when you get older, money is quite important in life. So those are my goals. Why don't you compete? To be honest, I never really enjoyed competing. It just wasn't fun for me. I felt quite nervous, anxious, didn't enjoy the training leading up to competing. So that's why I don't compete. And fortunately, I'm in a position where I get asked to judge competitions. So I judge instead. Best thing about living in Madrid, the reason why I came here was the weather. Not gonna lie, the weather is just so much better. Also, the cost of living is much cheaper than it is in England and you get more for your money here, okay? So in terms of there's football teams, I can go and watch Atletico and Real Madrid. It's not too far away. The tickets are fairly reasonable. The metro is good. Like I said, the weather's good. And of course, the freestyle community here, it's so big. There's always meets going on. And if I want to go to them, it's not hard to organize. So there's plenty of good things about Madrid that I enjoy here. Javier asked me about the difference between the Spanish and the English freestyle community. I think that all freestyle communities are pretty much the same. You just end up becoming one big friendship group. But in terms of little differences, I'd say just the way in which we support each other, okay? So with the Spanish freestylers, they're ultra supportive, the Spanish championships was it was kind of emotional, just seeing how everyone got really supportive and got behind each other. It wasn't about beating someone. It was about, everyone doing the best that they can and recognizing that. And that was cool. And I think that's a general theme for all of the Spanish speaking freestylers, not only in Spain, but in Latin America and all the other countries. They're all really supportive of each other. Whereas in England, we support each other as well, but we're a bit more relaxed about it. We're more oh yeah, well played, mate. Good job. Whereas the Spanish guys are eres un dios, que guapa eres. Is Ireland the best ever and why not? For me, yeah, Ireland is the best freestyler ever at this point in terms of competitions, okay? So he's won everything for starters. 2018, he won pretty much every competition he entered. That is an insane achievement. No one's ever done that before. So you can't take anything away from him. Before Ireland did that, I would say that it was Andrew. Andrew was the best. But in terms of on a more broader scale, in terms of achieving fame and success away from competing, Andrew is the best ever. Look at the footballers he's met, look at the experiences he's had, look at the influence he's had on people. It's a much bigger picture, but we have to remember that Ireland is a lot younger. He's focused on competing. Maybe Ireland could go on and achieve that. He has the platform to do so. So yeah, that's my opinion. I guess there's two. In competing, Ireland. In just general freestyle, it's probably Andrew in terms of success. Have you ever been to Algeria? No, but I was supposed to go once. I was looking forward to it. I actually have the visa in my passport. Never actually even been to Africa. Will you come to Indonesia? I would like to. I heard it's beautiful, but I have no plans to go there right now. How long does it take you to land a new skill? It varies. Depends how hard it is. Depends how much effort you put into it. With freestyle, it always comes down to this. You get out what you put into it, okay? So just have that thought in your mind with everything. What was your age when you started to freestyle? I was 15, about to turn 16, and I am now 27, about to turn 28. Whoa, that is kind of crazy when I say it out loud. Your favorite free tricks? I'd probably keep it quite simple and say like Camaleo trick, even though I can't get it consistent. I think it's like one of the most beautiful tricks ever. Clipper, also one of my favorites. And a trick that I rarely do, but is my favorite one to look at least, is the scorer around the world. Who made you start freestyle? Any particular freestyler? Not really. I mean, there's several freestylers that I can point to that really inspired me. The first one being like Abbas Farid, Nam the Man. These were like the first guys that I really noticed. Of course, Ronaldinho was a massive influence for me and a lot of other guys. And then following on from that, Tuzani, Pale, there was a lot. How much beard is too much beard? You can never have enough beard. I know it might be old and controversial, but what do you think of the Augusta versus Melody decision? So I was watching the Red Bull Street Style live stream here with Javi and Nacho, and during that battle, the live stream cut out for us. So we missed half the battle. And I haven't gone back to watch it. And I haven't gone back to watch it since, okay? Should I get into my thoughts about this without actually seeing the battle? It's probably quite unfair, so I won't. But I saw Melody's post afterwards where she was unhappy with the decision, which is fair enough. But I know that she didn't come out to like applaud Augusta or whatever. That's just bad sportsmanship. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care how badly you've been robbed. You should never do that. You should never do that. It's not in the spirit of the community. It's not in the spirit of sports. It's bad to do that. So, but yeah, I still need to go back and watch that battle. I'm sure Melody has her reasons. She's a champion. She'll be back. She's a class freestyler. The best feeling in freestyle, probably winning the world championships, but a lot of us, well, most of us are not going to be able to do that. So just in general, like day to day, landing something that you've been trying for a long time, especially if you're with a bunch of freestylers and they really want you to do it in that session, that's always a good feeling. Any tips for beginners? Yeah, watch my tutorials. I've got loads of tips for beginners. I mean, I have over 300 videos, so go and check them out. What is the most frustrating trick that you've learned? When I was starting out, I really wanted to do lemons around the world, and I really struggled with it, and it took me so long to get it. And like when I think about it, that was the most frustrating, because when I finally did it, it was very unclean. So I did it and I wasn't happy with it, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that way. What's your opinion on different types of freestylers in battles? Guys like Hesse and guys like Kazani. I think Kazani is a breath of fresh air for the freestyle community. I had so much fun watching him at Super Bowl this year. I like to call him the K-Man. Like he's just crazy, man. He's class. And Hesse, like I don't get as excited about watching him, but I like kind of sit there and like respect what he's doing, and he was really impressive in Red Bull Street Style just gone. Probably should have gone a bit further in my opinion. And yeah, it's good. The more contrast we have in competitions, then the better it is. Like for example, Kalaputa in the last Red Bull Street Style, like he was so entertaining to watch. The reason why was because he was doing stuff that was difficult and he was doing stuff that was fresh. No one else there was like him, okay? So that's what we need to see more of, people being themselves. What's your current motivation for your freestyle sessions? Honestly, it's just, I realized that I have a limited window to freestyle in my life. Like life is this big. You're only going to be able to freestyle for like this bit. And I've only just become aware of that. So that's my motivation. Like make the most of the opportunity that you have, because tomorrow it might be gone. I have to quit freestyle for 7 months while in the military. Any tips on how to get back into it? I would say take the 7 months. Like I know that you're young because I met you before. Take the 7 months, enjoy the experience in the military. And then when you come back, just pick up where you left off. You should have all the motivation that you already have now, but enjoy the experience that life is currently giving you. Don't forget, Ethan did it as well. Ethan went to the military. He was one of the best lower freestylers in the world. Went to the military for a few years, came back, started training again, and was once again like one of the best lower freestylers in the world. So it's doable. Should I do every sesh as a kind of routine with always the same tricks, or should I switch it up a bit? Do whatever you want to do, okay? It's your life, it's your freestyle. Do whatever you want to do, right? It's as simple as that. Best Best tips for staying stable during blocking and slap combos. Slow down, right? Just slow down. Take your time. Once you've mastered it a bit better, then you can speed up gradually. I find I make the most mistakes in blocking when I'm trying to rush it and trying to make it look faster and more impressive, but in the long run, I end up dropping it. Who is your role model in football freestyle and in football? In football, I don't really play much football, so I have a role model. There's like people that I admire in football, but I won't get into that. But as far as like freestyle, in the freestyle community, I would say that Pele is my role model because like he has all the attributes that you'd want in a role model. He's successful, he's humble, he's a good family man, like he's talented, like he's just got everything that you want. I enjoy following him a lot. I wish that he would be more active in the scene, but at the same time, I understand that that part of his life is pretty much over now. And yeah, man, I've got a lot of respect for Pele. He probably doesn't realize like how much he's influenced me in the way that I carry myself. Which thing disappoints you most in life? That's a pretty deep question for this Q&A. There's a lot of injustice in the world and we can all sit around and be sad about that. So I'm not going to go into that. But on a personal level, the only thing that can disappoint me in life is myself. I used to very much blame like external reasons for like why I wasn't where I wanted to be in life or why I wasn't achieving something or why I wasn't happy. Like it all starts with yourself. Like, you know, when I look back at my life, I sound like a 6-year-old man. When I look back at all the good things in my life, they all came from the effort that I put in myself, okay? So if I'm not receiving good stuff in my life, it's because I'm not putting in the effort, which means that I'm disappointed in myself. Favorite footballer? Current day, I would probably say that I'm an Arsenal fan, so I like Ozil. He's my favorite. Back in the day, it would have been Henry. Also, I like Maradona, even though he wasn't playing when I was alive. My favorite English player of all time has to be Wayne Rooney. Rooney. Best freestyle blooper you ever witnessed? That was from Frank, and it was Frank. He obviously wants me to show that again, so here it is. Opinion on the state of the UK community and what improvements do you think needs to be made? To be honest, I don't really know because I don't live in England anymore. I think that the UK community is quite disintegrated. We're all kind of spread out. We live far away from each other. England is really expensive, so it's hard to meet up. And of course, we have terrible weather over there as well. So if there was a way that everyone could get together on a regular basis, that would be excellent. Like I wasn't at the UK. It's hard for me to talk about it because I wasn't at the UK Championship, but from afar, everything looks good. There's a lot of young guys coming up that I haven't met, but I know that they're really progressing. I don't know how to improve it. Like honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. Favorite match ball ever has to be the Sweden under 21 Euro 2009 match ball. I've used it in videos before. It's the one with the yellow, the blue and the silver. But to use these days, it's definitely the Cathusa because I think it's the best ball for all styles in freestyle. How to improve faster in freestyle? I feel like I don't improve anymore. You need to challenge yourself. You need to challenge yourself. Like for example, look at Luca's Instagram. He's always talking about like what he thinks is possible. Like he's doing stuff that no one's done before, and yet he'll write in the description like, oh yeah, in like a month's time I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to move on to this combo. Or he'll say like, yesterday I landed this trick, now I'm already doing it. He's always like pushing himself and thinking forward. So you need to change your mindset and start thinking of what you can do and not what you're able to do right now and why you can't improve. What do you think about the Japanese Asian freestyle scene? The Japanese scene has always been very interesting to me. I love the style. I really need to go to Japan and Asia in general and experience that. Everyone who's been there, I always ask them and they say that the community is different, the vibe is different. So I'd love to go and experience it. I have a lot of respect for the Japanese scene especially. Oh, and also another thing, like shout out to all the Japanese freestylers who came to Superboard last year. That was incredible. Like to travel like across the world to like really like they're good enough like where we can go to them really. Like the community there is big enough. They have a structure and stuff, but still they make their way over to come and see us, and I think that's class. How much do you like roasted parsnips compared to Spain? Roasted parsnips are nice. Spain, I like Spain as well. Like fortunately I can have roasted parsnips in Spain. That's the ideal situation. How often do you train at the moment? It's usually like once or twice a week, but I should start training more, to be honest. Why? This cracked me up when I read this last night. Why the plural for goose is geese and why the plural for house is not heath? I've never heard that before. I don't know. It's a good question. Best and worst Adidas official match ball. Best I think is pretty objective in my opinion. Like I like the Cathusa. I think it's the best, but I have my reasons for it, okay? A lot of people say like the Team Geist is best in general. I'll probably say that, but then some people say that's too heavy. And you got like the Champions League balls. There's a few, but as far as worst goes, the worst is definitely the Jabulani. That thing was terrible. It was horrendous for football and for freestyle. It was just awful. Didn't even look nice either. Like, it looked terrible and it felt terrible as well. Kind of heavy person freestyle. Why? Yeah, I think someone who's a bit on the heavier side can definitely freestyle. There's no reason why not. You might not be able to do the same stuff as like someone who's lighter, but it shouldn't stop you. And if anything, you're going to lose weight by doing freestyle. Hop the world and around the world record. I don't know. They're both above 50 and they're both definitely below 60. Any tips for side headstall and best shoes for freestyle football? I think I have a side headstall tutorial on my channel, so check that out. Best freestyle shoes, go and buy the 4 Freestyle Explore 2 shoes. They're just as good as the Pumas. Support Tobias's brand. He's like really making a big effort to build the community. So, you know, spend your money there. And that's everything for the Q&A. I answered as many questions as I possibly could. I know this has been long, so if you made it all the way here, thank you very much. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, and subscribe. See you later. Thanks.